vows that were foreign to their hearts. The prayer close to us because of the burning feeling that sometimes, or maybe even often, we commit ourselves to the wrong causes. Maybe we spend too much time on the unimportant. Maybe we spend too much money on the harmful. Maybe we spend too much energy on lost causes. Kol Nidre invites us to look back clearly at what is unimportant, harmful, or lost already, and then to let go. God is waiting on the other side. God knows what we have to leave behind just as well as we do. And God's promise is there. I'm here. I forgive you. I am here. I want to invite up to the bima Brandon Brown, Bruce Jacobs, and Mike Mansfield for being the Torah holders for Kol Nidre. And if Brandon is at the door, I want to invite up Seth Cooper. Please rise. Oh, great. Page 16. Vishiva shel mala uvishiva shel mata al dat hamakom ve'al dat hakahal anu matirin leitpalel im havayanim v'shiva shel mala uv'shiva shel mata al dat hamakom ve'al dat hakahal anu matirin leitpalel im havayanim. With one voice, assembled sages past and present declare, all may pray as one on this night of repentance. Let none be excluded from our community of prayer. With one voice, God and congregation proclaim, all may pray as one on this day of return. Let all find a place in this sacred assembly. Page 18, Kol Nidre. Page 20. All shall be forgiven, the entire community of Israel, and the stranger who lives in their midst, for all have gone astray in error. ונסלח לכל עדת בני ישראל, ולגעגע בתוכם, כי לכל העם בשגגה. Moses prayed to God, as you have been faithful to this people ever since Egypt, please forgive their failings now, in keeping with your boundless love. And God responded, I forgive as you have asked. סלח נא לעוון העם הזה כגודל חסדך, וכאשר נסעת על העם הזה ממצרים ועד הנה, ושם נאמר, ויאמר אדוני, סלחתי כדבריך. ויאמר אדוני, סלחתי כדבריך. ויאמר אדוני, סלחתי כדבריך. Page 21. Prayer from the heart. I bow, I face the ground, I fell before the Most High. Further than heaven's heaven are you, nearer to me than the flesh on my bones. What have I to offer you but my spirit? How shall I lift my eyes to you? How can my tongue give praise? The signs of your love are countless, as are my sins, more numerous than the sands of the sea. So guide me towards the right path, my teacher, my keeper of faith, source of all that I know. When my heart speaks, I hear the words myself, and you, may you hear me too. Yesha koach. Please be seated. There are a few lines in the Jewish prayer book. There are only a few lines that are better known than the Shema. Framed by blessings and introduced with the call to prayer, the Baruch Hu, the Shema sits at the core of our morning and evening service like a jewel in its setting. Yes, now we need this again, now that the candles are on. Thank you. We learn in Midrash Rabbah, a collection of rabbinic teachings, that Moses heard this beautiful prayer from the angels themselves and taught it to Israel. We dare not say it aloud completely because we are sinful and therefore unworthy of using an angelic formula. On Yom Kippur, however, when Israel elevates itself to the sin-free level of angels, we do proclaim it loudly. The Shema is a prayer of angels. Today, tonight, this moment has come. As a community, have reached together the moment of the year when we are clearest with ourselves. After the 10 days of repentance, we know exactly what we carry with us into the service. We stand here, heads clear, hearts ready, bodies rising. As we move through the Shema and its blessings, we are getting ready for the majesty of those familiar lines. Those lines are the lines with which your people take their last breath. Those are the lines parents whisper into the ears of their newborn babies. Those are the lines that let you know that you're home. Listen, Israel, listen. Tonight and tomorrow, we're standing among angels, and they listen too. We are on page 22 for the Baruch Hu. Please rise. Please be seated. Page 24. ומביא יום ומביא לילה ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה אדוני צבאות שמו אל חי וקיים תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד יין ניי 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 יין ניי 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 ברוך אתה אדוני המרהיב ערבים. Page 26. With eternal love have you loved us. Ahavat Olam. Ahavat Olam.
בשוכבנו ובקומנו נשיח בחוקיך ונשמח בדברי תורתך ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד. כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו ובהם נהגה יומם ולילה. כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו ובהם נהגה יומם בלילה. ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים. יאי ניי 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 ניי, יאי ניי 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 ניי. ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל, שמע ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד. ברוך שם כבוד מלכותו לעולם ועד. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת. Please join me on page 43, the reading that begins with at the beginning. Excuse me, 33, sorry. At the beginning of creation, God spoke, and primordial light infused all existence. contained in radiant vessels. An intention arose in the mind of God to create a being capable of choice, able to distinguish good from bad, holy from profane. God breathed in Tzimtzum, and for the smallest moment was absent to make space for human beings to develop their godly essence, and expressed in the divine intention, let us make the human being according to our image. Utter darkness reigned. The forces of chaos tore at the cosmos. The vessels were broken. All creation threatened to fall asunder. At that instant, when darkness was complete and creation was in peril, the human being came into existence. And God breathed out again, filling the universe once more with splendor. But what of the rays of light that escaped from the broken vessels? Were they lost forever? Now the fusion of divine intention and human potential became clear. For human beings are able and thus commanded to retrieve the wandering rays of light, those entangled in darkness, lost in unlikely corners of the universe. For each act of kindness, each effort to be human in inhuman circumstances, returns a spark of light to its source. The rays of light are everywhere, and when all have been retrieved and uplifted, the messianic time of peace will be upon us. Page 40, Mi Chamocha.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדע בקודש, נורא תהילות עושה פלא, נורא תהילות עושה פלא. מלכותך ראו בניך, בוקע ים לפני משה, זניענו ואמרו, זניענו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו. יין עיני 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 יין עיני עיני ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל.
Page 43. Here we come. The peace of wild things. Please read with me. The peace of wild things. When despair for the world grows in me, and I wake in the night at the least sound, in fear of what my life and my children's lives may be, I go and lie down where the woke drake rests in his beauty on the water, and the great heron feeds. I come into the peace of wild things, who do not tax their lives with forethought of grief. I come into the presence of still water, and I feel above me the day-blind stars, waiting with their light. For a time I rest in the grace of the world, and I am free.
Baruch atah Adonai hapores su ברכת שלום עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל ועל ירושלים. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום והעמידנו שומרנו לחיים. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום והעמידנו שומרנו לחיים. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום והעמידנו שומרנו לחיים. שמור ביתנו ובואנו השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום והעמידנו שומרנו לחיים. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום והעמידנו שומרנו לחיים. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום והעמידנו שומרנו לחיים. השכיבנו שומרנו לחיים.
Page 45. Many hundreds of years ago, the Rambam taught that on the day of Yom Kippur, even without any temple rituals, this day alone will bring forgiveness to everyone who is truly repenting. Because, and such it is written on this page 45, for on this day atonement shall be made for you to purify you from all your wrongs, and pure shall you be in the presence of Adonai. It's said that Tu B'Av and Yom Kippur are the happiest days of the year. And this is for this very reason. They are the days of forgiveness and love. Those are the days when we reach out to each other, when we hold hands, when we dress in white, when we break the fast together, and when we break silences that maybe have lasted for much too long. When do we say enough? Now. Enough with hardened hearts, enough with silenced voices. Life and forgiveness and love are happening if we open up, if we let ourselves break open, if we make ourselves reachable for God's call. Page 45.
כי ביום הזה יכפר עליכם לטהר אתכם מכל חטאותיכם לפני אדוני תיטעו.
Please rise for the Chatzi Kaddish.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה ועלמא דברה חיותי וימליך מלכותי בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל בגאלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן. יהא שמי רבה מבורך לעולם ולעלמי עלמיה יתברך יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריחו לעילא ולעילא מכל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דמירן בעלמא וימרו אמן.
Please remain standing for the silent Amidah.
אדוני שפתי תפתח ופי יגיד תהילתך. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise.
Please continue on your own pace, either with the words on the page or with your own. Page 78, Shalom Rav.
טסים לעולם. כי אתה הוא מלך אדון לכל השלום. כי אתה הוא מלך אדון לכל השלום. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. וטוב בעיניך לברך את עמך ישראל בכל עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם. בספר חיים ברכה ושלום ופרנסה טובה ניזכר וניכתב לפניך. אנחנו בכל עמך בית ישראל לחיים טובים, לחיים טובים ולשלום. ברוך אתה אדוני עושה השלום. אמן.
סליחות, וידוי, forgiveness, confession. Some of us know what haunts their hearts today. We might say, I did X, or I am too Y. Others know whose face appears in front of them today. They might say, I betrayed A. I did not show up for B. None of us is perfect. All of us carry some guilt. Here we are, carrying it together. May our voices rise together. May our hearts open together. May our hands reach each other. May we neither be lonely nor hiding. May we be here in this space, whole and together. Please join me on page 83. Ashamnu. When I was young and I learned the alphabet, life was open to me. A was full of aspiration. B was for beauty. C for confidence. And D for dreams. And so on through the list. No fewer than 26 opportunities, 26 possibilities. And yet I fear that with the passage of time, I squandered them, creating instead A's of apathy, B's of brusqueness, and C of coarseness. Help me then to return to that innocence. Let the letters be letters once again, and let them rise to the heavens to form into the words that you know I wish to say. Page 82. Tavo. May my words rise up to you.
ואלוהי אבותינו, תבוא לפניך תפילתנו. אל תתעלם מתחינתנו, שאיננו הזייפנים, שאיננו הזייפנים, וקשיי מה לפניך, אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו, שצדיקים אנחנו ולא הרשענו, אבל אנחנו ואבותינו
Page 82. Ignore that. Page 84. Our turning away from your mitzvot and laws of goodness is a hollow pursuit. You are just concerning all that happens in our lives.
מצוותיך ממשפטיך הטובים ולא שבענו לנו, ואתה צדיק על כל עלינו, כי אמת עשית ואנחנו הרשענו.
Page 86 to 87.
על חטא שחטאנו לפניך בזדון ובשגגה, ועל חטא שחטאנו לפניך בדיבור פה.
The ways we have wronged you by hardening our hearts, and harm we have caused in your world through careless speech.
על חטא שחטאנו לפניך בכחש ובזבה, ועל חטא שחטאנו לפניך ברכילות.
The ways we have wronged you by judging others unfairly, and harm we have caused in your world through disrespect to parents and teachers.
על חטא שחטאנו לפניך בבידוי פה, ועל חטא שחטאנו לפניך בהונאת רעך.
The ways we have wronged you through violence and abuse, and harm we have caused in your world through dishonesty and
ועל כולם אלוה סליחות, סלח לנו מחלנו כפר לנו, לנו מחלנו כפר לנו.
Page 92, a prayer for the repair of the tablets. God of the covenant, intimate of the heart, creator of the world, gaze from Horeb and forgive. Through you, love, send healing, and mend the cracks within me caused by the senselessness of serving idols. Forgive the shards I left scattered on my path, broken bits of body, pieces of soul, for it all happened by mistake, the result of human frailty. Forgive, and through your hidden love, send to the shattered tablets a mystical repair of acceptance and light, and send me strength, my God, to stand before you. Page 98, Shema Kolenu.
Shema Kolenu Adonai Eloheinu Hu zverachem Aleinu, Aleinu, vekabel berachamim, berachamim uvatzon, et tefilateinu. Hashivenu Adonai elecha, Hashivenu Adonai elecha v'nashuva, Chadish yameinu, yameinu, kekedem. Al tashlichenu al tashlichenu lezikna kichlachaychenu Shema Kolenu Adonai Eloheinu Chus verachem Aleinu,
Page 99. Will you hear my voice, you who are far from me? Will you hear my voice wherever you are? A voice calling aloud, a voice silently weeping, endlessly demanding a blessing. This busy world is vast, its ways are many. Paths meet for a moment, then part forever. We go on searching, but our feet stumble. We cannot find that which we have lost. Perhaps my last day is already drawing near. Drawing close are the tears of parting. I will wait for you till my days flicker out, like Rachel waiting for her beloved. This year has been my first one as a mother of two, a wife of one, a congregational rabbi of over 120 households. A writer sometimes late at night or while waiting for the pasta water to start boiling. Life has become profane. Diapers, pots, laundry, meetings, timelines, phone calls, emails. I don't read as much anymore as I used to. I don't write nearly as much. My body is busy every day, running from this to that, from here to there. In the midst of it, my soul feels strangely calm. I know I'm never enough. For no one, ever. I only do what I can, every single day, one moment at a time. I stopped being angry. I stopped feeling sad. I still sometimes say sorry. But most of all, I am hoping that you know that whatever I do with love. Page 101. At the very bottom of the page, Moses prayed to God, "As you have been faithful to this people ever since Egypt, please forgive their failings now, in keeping with your boundless love." And God responded, "I forgive you as I have asked." Page 100, the 13 attributes.
Adonai, Adonai, El Rachum Vechanun, Erech Apayim, Verav Chesed Ve'emet, Notzer Chesed Le'alafim, Noser Avon V'Fesha, V'Chata V'Nakeh. Adonai, Adonai, El Rachum Vechanun, Erech Apayim, Verav Chesed Ve'emet, Notzer Chesed Le'alafim, Noser Avon V'Fesha, V'Chata V'Nakeh. Adonai, Adonai, El Rachum Vechanun, Erech Apayim, Verav Chesed Ve'emet, Notzer Chesed Le'alafim, Noser Avon V'Fesha, V'Chata
Page 106, Ki anu amecha, because we are like your people, you are our God. We are like your children, you are like our Father.
Ki anu עבדך ואתה מלכנו, אנו בניך ואתה אבינו, אנו עבדך ואתה אדוננו, אנו קהלך ואתה חלקנו, אנו נחלתך ואתה גואלנו, אנו צאנך ואתה רוענו, אנו חמך ואתה נוטרנו, אנו פעולתך ואתה יוצרנו, אנו רעייתך ואתה דודנו, אנו סגולתך ואתה קרובנו, אנו עמך ואתה מלכנו, אנו מאמירך ואתה מאמירנו.
Avinu Malkenu, our God beyond everything, a father, a partner, a lover, a child, the planter of a vineyard, a queen, a king, a mother, a friend, light, air, electricity, metaphor, image, experience, voice, feeling, Torah. God, we turn to you. God, we speak to you. God, we listen for your answer. God, we are here. God, so are you. Page 114, Avinu Malkenu.
Avinu Malkenu, Shema kolenu, Avinu Malkenu, Chatanu lefanecha, Avinu Malkenu, Chamol aleinu, ve'alol aleinu, ve'tapeinu, Avinu Malkenu, ka'alei dever, ve'cherev ve'rav me'aleinu, Avinu Malkenu, kabel kol tzar umati, מלכנו, חננו ועננו, כי אין בנו מעשים, עשה עמנו, עשה עמנו, צדקה וחסד והושיענו, אבינו מלכנו, שמע קולנו.
Please be seated. And it is my honor to call up Marlene Lehrer for tonight's appeal and greeting from a congregant.
Jeff and I have been affiliated with this temple for over 30 years. 30 years ago, there was no temple. We met in the basement of a church. Today, we have this beautiful temple. I call on you tonight. This temple is very expensive to operate. And I call on you tonight to reach deep into your heart to make some type of financial commitment so that we can continue to grow our wonderful temple. We have left envelopes next to the donation box. And I wish that each and every one of you reach deep into your heart and make this your mitzvah for the year. Thank you.
Thank you, Marlene. If you've never met Marlene, that is because she's only here in the summer. And the strange thing is some people leave when the magic begins. But we are so happy that you and Jeff are here and that you have continued to come, no matter what else life brings you. Strange things have happened tonight. One of them is that somewhere in my outline, there was a point that said sermon. And it must have come and went. And too many other things happened. So I'm very sorry. And now that we already broke the protocol, I do want to say thank you to Beth and Kyle and Amy and Taka, and also to Josh, who joined us yesterday, for the music you bring, and to KC at the tech board there, and to Cody, whom I never even see. Oh, here he is. And who does a million things without us noticing. Thank you. So, welcome back to the synagogue. And it's good to see you all again in this most awesome night of the year. It means a lot to me to see you all here, both in the space, and it also means a lot to me that you're on YouTube watching. Because that means that you're not only making Judaism a priority in your life, but that you're making yourself a priority in your life. It means that you made time to think and to pray, to be with friends and family and community, and to spend time in this building. And it moves me that you did that. It moves me every year that we do that. I am assuming that this night is statistically the most frequented Jewish service of the year. I'm assuming. Kol Nidre. the moment of deepest silence with yourself. Standing here on the bima, I actually think a lot about you. What are you thinking about as I'm standing here? Are you worried? Are you relieved? Are you anxious? Are you bored? Are you proud? What kinds of emotions fill the space? A space full of hopefully very warm but not too hot bodies. What do we do here? What are we supposed to do here? It seems to me that finding the answer to this question might provide us with answers to much bigger questions. The questions asked by this service are, what for? What are we here for? What is the purpose of each of our lives? And what would it mean to fill this life with meaning? And what would it mean to fail at doing that? In no particular order. We eat, we drink, we are busy building and maintaining a home and becoming secure. We bleed, we learn, we teach, we age. Sometimes we have kids, we die. Generations of us have done the same over thousands of years. We somehow manage to make this astonishingly complicated, but when we take a step back and look at the bigger picture of what makes a human life, we see that our lives are equally astonishingly simple, almost boring. In the Babylonian Talmud and the tractate of Eruvin, there is a teaching that is a little less well known. The Talmud is discussing the differences between the house of Hillel and the house of Shammai, and it brings up one of the most fundamental differences between them. The question at hand is not halachic, it's philosophic. The two rabbis and their students discuss nothing less than the nature of the human condition, that is the nature of a human life. This is to teach you that anyone who humbles himself, the Holy One, blessed be He, exalts him. And anyone who exalts himself, the Holy One, blessed be He, humbles him. Anyone who seeks greatness, greatness flees from him. And conversely, anyone who flees from greatness, greatness seeks him. And anyone who attempts to force the moment and expends great efforts to achieve an objective precisely when he desires to do so, the moment forces him to, and he is unsuccessful. And conversely, anyone who is patient and yields to the moment stands by his side, and he will ultimately be successful. The sages taught the following: for 2.5 years, Beit Shammai and Beit Hillel disagreed. Beit Shammai said it would have been preferable had man not been created than to have been created. And Beit Hillel said it is preferable for man to have been created than had he not been created. Ultimately, they were counted and concluded it would have been preferable had man not been created than to have been created. However, now that he has been created, he should examine his actions that he has performed and seek to correct them. And some say he should scrutinize his planned actions and evaluate whether or not and in what manner those actions should be performed so that he will not sin. What are the rabbis saying? The Talmud begins with an observation. Human life is hard. Often the thing we seem to that seems to be most desirable flees from us. We want to be famous and admired, successful and happy, but the more we push and seek and attempt to plow through, the more fame, success, and happiness vanish in the wind. Once we stop making them a priority and maybe ask entirely different questions, such as, how can I be most useful? How can I serve my family or my community best? How can I make you happy? Fame, success, and happiness sometimes find us. But even then, they rarely show up all at once, and they often come and go, and come and go.
It is a constant struggle. In the face of this fact, the house of Shammai seems to make a very intuitive statement. Gosh, it would have been better if the world existed without us. That is better for us. No more struggles. The house of Hillel confronts us with a different statement. No, no, no. It is worthwhile for us to be created, to live, to struggle. There is something in it for us, they seem to say. It is better to be alive than not to be alive. They seem not to give a clear reason at first sight. They just state, once we are alive, we should examine our deeds very carefully to the extent that we feel our actions, to the extent that we fully understand the nature of our being in the world. It dawned on me that this discussion brings us not only back to the very heart of our existence, but also to the very beginning of the Torah. The human decides to eat from the tree of knowledge, and therefore cannot eat from the tree of life anymore. After the human decided to rather learn and change than to live forever in eternal ease and harmony, God gives us one message on our way. The life you chose is going to be difficult. It will be marked by conflicts and tensions. The things you desire most in the world, having children, gaining bread and other foods, will only come to you through hard work, pain, and struggle. And then God goes ahead and makes us clothed, literally, to help us shoulder the burden we carry. So here we are. We struggle. We hold jobs, we do creative work, we think, we interact with others, we build circles of friends, families, we shoulder responsibilities, we struggle. Sometimes we're happy. I am thinking back to this discussion in the Talmud, and I'm thinking that what seems to be a commandment, almost a warning of the house of Hillel, might be also the very reason for their statement that it is worthwhile to be alive. Once we are alive, we should examine our deeds very carefully, to the extent that we feel our action. I put parentheses in there, but you don't see them, so that we feel our action. There's a strange Hebrew word there. To the extent that we fully understand the nature of our being in the world. What might that mean? I want to invite you now to look at two more of our stained glass windows. We started this high holiday season with a sermon on Chesed and Rachamim, loving kindness and mercy that sustain the world. We moved on to Brachot, the blue one, blessings, which are a call to action, to sanctify, enjoy, and embrace the changes and experiences our lives confront us with. And now we move to my last set, because tomorrow Rabbi Ed is going to preach on Bina and Chochmah. But now we're looking at the blue and the red window right there in the corner above the Werner family. They say Tiferet and Shechina. Tiferet in blue and Shechina in red. Those are two names out of the many, many names for God. Tiferet means something like splendor, spirituality, integration, and balance. And the red one, Shechina means the way that God manifests in the world, the yearning we feel, the subtle directedness that we may sense sometimes. Both names of God hint to the very way we experience God. We live with God here on this planet, in this human life that we live, the way we feel God. We live in a world in which friendships and marriages break, more often than not, in which children and parents become strangers, in which many of us are only able to manage with meds and drugs and alcohol and therapy,
in which many of us know the worry about money, about the future, about the state of our planet or nation or city? Why do I talk here about experiencing God in the world? What do I talk here about when I say that God is in the world? God is in the world. There is nothing more important in our religion in Judaism than this statement. God is in the world, in which we struggle every day and in which we are sometimes happy. God is in this world. The Shekhinah is with us. Tiferet is with us in all the moments in which we feel like we are truly praying, when we are truly present to ourselves and others, when we feel perfectly at home in our own selves, in our lives. God is here. Beit Hillel says, once we are alive, we should examine our deeds very carefully, to the extent that we feel our actions, to the extent that we fully understand the nature of our being in the world. Today is the day when we do that more than any other day of the year. We sit here and we feel our actions. We feel the nature of our existence in the world. And I came to think that this feeling of ourselves, it is not done in the way of beating ourselves up. It is the very reason that we're here in the synagogue or on YouTube. The reason that it is worthwhile for us to be created, to live and to struggle. We're called in this world for nothing more than to feel ourselves, to get a sense of who we are, what we are called to do, what we are called to let go. We look into the mirror of our hearts. This is what makes us human. The moments in which we feel not only us, but God's presence with us. Those are the moments that give our life meaning. It's in the struggle and in the happiness. It's in God's voice, and it is in God's presence. This service was a moment to do just that. Hiking is another way to do just that. Dancing, conversation with friends and family, reading, loving, folding laundry, petting and feeding an animal, making a gift, skiing, Torah study, cuddling up on the couch. You all know your own ways. And if there's one thing that I want you to walk home with from this service, it's just this: double up. Double up on the moments in which you feel whole in the world. Double up on the moments in which you can feel your actions, yourself, your presence in the world. In these moments, you are close to the truth. In these moments, you are close to God. It is for these moments that it is worthwhile that man is created. In these moments, God creates you. Cherish them, live as many of them as possible. Make this day, Yom Kippur, as much as possible one of these moments, and make the entire next year 1 year that is marked by these moments. I want to close with a prayer that is written by another rabbi. And Rabbi Ed might laugh. It's an evening of Chassidut. Rabbi Nachman of Wroclaw. Grant me the ability to be alone. May it be my custom to go outdoors every day, among the trees and grass, among all growing things, and there may I be alone and enter into prayer to talk with the one to whom I belong. May I express there everything in my heart, and may all the foliage of the field, all grasses, trees, and plants awake at my coming, to send the powers of their life into the words of my prayer, so that my prayer and speech are made whole through the life and spirit of all growing things, which are made as one by their transcendent source. May I then pour out the words of my heart before your presence like water, O God, and lift up my hands to you in worship on my behalf and that of my children. Tzom Kal, may you have an easy Yom Kippur. We are back on page 116. I ask you to rise for the Aleinu.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם בוני תין, ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא, יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו, ושמו, ושמו אחד.
Please remain standing for a little longer as we gather the thoughts of everyone who needs healing in our community and beyond our community, and then say the Kaddish together. Page 273, Misheberach.
Bless the ones before us. Help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Misheberach imotenu mekoach
Page 122. 122. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, ועלמא דברך חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחי יכון וביום יכון ובחיי לכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב, ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם ולעלמי עלמיה. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי לקודשה ברכו. לעילה ולעילה מכל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דאמירן בעלמה, ואמרו אמן. יהי שלמה רבה מן שמיא, וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל,
ve'emo. Amen. Please be seated. I want to send you away with one last announcement. Tomorrow, Yizkor is around 11:30 in the morning. We're not going to do Yizkor right before Ne'ilah, but in the morning. So if it is important to you to be here for Yizkor, you should either come at 9:30 or you can come at 11:30 to make sure that you're not missing it. Other than that, I think the last thing that remains to say is thank you. I don't even know, but I know that the Jacobs organized the flowers. They didn't. Christy. With Richard's help. Anyways, thank you, Christy. This is what I tried to figure out. Thank you, Christy, for the beautiful flowers that turn our sanctuary into a sacred space. And I will see all of you tomorrow at 9:30. Please hang on for one last song and a blessing. 124, Achad Sha'anti.
Achad Sha'anti me'et Adonai, ota avakesh. Achad Sha'anti me'et Adonai, ota avakesh. Shivti beveit Adonai, kol yemei chayai, לחזות בנועם בנועם אדוני, ולבקר בהיכלו. לחזות בנועם בנועם אדוני, ולבקר בהיכלו. אחת שאלתי מאת אדוני, אותה אבקש. אחת שאלתי מאת אדוני, אותה אבקש. שבתי בבית אדוני, כל ימי חיי, לחזות בנועם בנועם אדוני, ולבקר בהיכלו. לחזות בנועם בנועם אדוני, ולבקר בהיכלו.
127, our God and God of our ancestors, eternal God of all generations, may your presence in our lives this new year renew our spirits and renew our strength. May it be a good year. May it be a sweet year. שתחדש עלינו שנה טובה ומתוקה.
לשנה טובה תיכתבו, לשנה טובה תיכתבו, תיכתבו ותחדשו